Hello, welcome to My Story with CareCredit, where real CareCredit cardholders share their stories of life-changing healthcare. CareCredit's a leading national healthcare credit card that can enable you to get many of the procedures and treatments you want or need now and pay over time with promotional financing on purchases of $200 or more. CareCredit is accepted at hundreds of thousands of locations nationwide to pay for care for you, your family, and your pets. I'm your host, Amy Freena. Today we meet Karla, a resilient woman who developed serious back pain after a car accident. With CareCredit, she was able to get the chiropractic care she needed and return to her active lifestyle.
Hi, I'm Karla, and I've been a CareCredit card holder for 2 years, and this is my story. I love to swim, I love going to the beach. For me, being active is a huge stress reliever. I unfortunately got into a car accident. 6 months later, the pain became very severe. I went to a chiropractor and found out that I had onset scoliosis. It was obviously more expensive than I expected. He actually presented the CareCredit card. And now, a year later, I am able to go swimming again. I'm able to play tennis. And after a year's treatment, it just made it possible for me to live the life that I want to live. Thank you, CareCredit, for giving me my active life back. It's who I've always been, and because of you, it's who I can continue to be.
Karla, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I am great. So we are so excited to hear about your CareCredit story. So let's just dive right in. Let's start at the beginning. When did you first hear about the CareCredit credit card?
Yeah, so I first heard about the CareCredit credit card a couple of years ago after I unfortunately was in a car accident.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it caused a lot of back pain.
Oh, no.
And so I went to the chiropractor and found out that I had onset scoliosis this whole time. And the car accident kind of displaced my hips, which was what was causing the severe pain. And yeah, so the regimen required me to go to the chiropractor 3 times a week, as well as do acupuncture 3 times a week. And with that comes a hefty bill.
Of course, every time.
Yep.
So they hand you this bill, they give you this regimen, you're like, great. But then you're like, how do I pay for this? So did they introduce you to the CareCredit credit card?
They did, yes. They're super amazing. I expressed my financial situation with them, and they suggested the CareCredit credit card. And instantly there was a huge relief, huge burden taken off my back, figuratively and literally.
Yes, exactly.
And so I set it up, which was super easy. I kind of barely remember the process, to be honest.
Of course, you had a lot going on.
Yes.
But you were doing all of this in the chiropractor's office.
Correct. Yep. So they handed me the forms. I filled everything out. And honestly, within minutes, it was,
easy and done.
My year plan was charged onto this card.
Wow. 1 year. So that actually probably bought you literally a lot of peace of mind.
Yes.
Because you're like, okay, I've got this plan in place. I'm going to feel better.
Yeah.
So how did the treatment go?
It went really well.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, it came with a lot of stress. I was not sleeping. I'm not going to lie, crying
of course.
midnight just because I had so much frustration and not a lot of hope that things were going to get better.
Oh, gosh.
And then, on top of that, with finances, having that taken care of was allowing me to focus on becoming pain-free and going through the rehabilitation.
Right.
So it's been great now. I've gone from 3 times a week now to once monthly.
Wow.
And I still continue to use the CareCredit credit card for maintenance.
You.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're feeling a million times better.
A million, infinitely. Yeah.
How long ago was this?
This was August 2019 that I was in the car accident.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been a really long journey.
Well, but it sounds like you are definitely moving onward and upward.
Definitely, yes.
Do you have plans to use the card for anything else?
So I actually already have.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah, I did not realize at first that you could use it for multiple,
Yes, ma'am.
things.
Yes.
And so I just got clear aligners.
Okay.
For my teeth. Yeah.
Good for
so
you.
now I'm using it for my dental maintenance.
Yeah. Awesome. Have you told friends and family members about the card
I have
and
told
the freedom?
so many friends about it. I have a lot of friends who do a lot of work on their feet, a lot of physical labor, who are constantly expressing their pain.
Of course.
And I was like, hey, this promotional financing with the CareCredit credit card is amazing.
Right.
It will change your life.
Oh.
Do not avoid the services you need because you don't have to.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I'm so glad you were able to get the treatment you needed and then also to share that with other people.
Yeah.
It's amazing. If you could write a review on your whole process with the CareCredit credit card from the beginning till now, what would you say?
Oh, wow. Honestly, it's one of the easiest things I've done. Like, it's really intimidating to go through medical services and health insurance, and using the CareCredit credit card has just made it so easy. It's really something for sure.
We are so happy you were able to get the care you needed.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your story. We appreciate it.
Of course.
Thanks for joining us on My Story with CareCredit. If you're interested in applying for the CareCredit credit card or want to find a provider in your area who accepts CareCredit, visit us at carecredit.com.